Hello and welcome to my crypto brief. Episode number 3, why Midnight could be the future of privacy coins. So privacy coins have been quite popular recently, and with the launch of Midnight, a privacy token on Cardano, I thought it would be a good idea to do a head-to-head comparison between Monero, Zcash and Midnight. And we can have a look and see if Midnight can steal some market share from Monero and Zcash and potentially even contend for the #1 spot. So let's jump in. So starting by comparing market cap, we can see that Midnight is a 1.74 billion market cap, which is very impressive for having just launched 12 days ago. Monero in first place with an 8.6 billion market cap, and Zcash then following closely behind Monero with a 7.2 billion dollar market cap. So Midnight doing quite well for having just launched, but still only roughly about a quarter of Monero's market cap or Zcash's market cap. So still potentially a long way to go to contend with them, but there is the potential there for the growth. So let me just read through this. What is Midnight? So Midnight represents the next generation of privacy technology, built as a sophisticated sidechain on Cardano that fundamentally reimagines how blockchain privacy should work in a regulated world. And its core features are, well, it's a Cardano sidechain, so it leverages the Cardano infrastructure. It has advanced zero-knowledge proofs, Zcash snarks, which Zcash snarks are used in Zcash. Zcash uses Zcash snarks, but this is a more advanced version of that. It has rational privacy, which means it's private by default, selective disclosure capabilities. And perhaps the most exciting is the confidential smart contract ability, so enabling private DeFi, NFTs and identity solutions, but privacy within DeFi is quite exciting. And now let's compare that with Monero. So Monero was the original privacy coin launched back in 2014. So it has 11, almost 12 years now of a track record processing private transactions. It doesn't use ZK snarks. Instead, it uses ring signatures, which obscures transactions' origins by mixing them with other signatures. And it also uses stealth addresses, so it creates one-time addresses for every transaction. But the main point of Monero is that it's 100% private. There's no exceptions and no optional transparency, which is why a lot of exchanges kind of ban it, and it's not really great for regulations. So let's jump over to Zcash. Zcash was launched in 2016, so like Monero, it also has a long track record of processing transactions, almost 10 years. It's the first cryptocurrency to implement ZK snarks, which is the technology also used by Midnight. And unlike Monero and similar to Midnight, users have the ability to select if they want a transaction to be shielded or transparent. And approximately 15 to 30% of transactions use shielded pools in Zcash. The main difference that I can tell between Zcash and Midnight is the smart contract capabilities, of which Midnight seems to have more of. So let's look at a comparison between all three cryptos. And here we have a nice chart. So let's just run through it. Privacy by default, Midnight, yes, it has privacy by default. Monero, yes, and Zcash is transparent by default, and roughly 30% of transactions there have been chosen to be shielded. Smart contracts, Midnight has full confidentiality in smart contracts, or at least it will when it's launched. Monero doesn't have any, and Zcash is limited in that regard. Selective disclosure, Midnight does have. Monero does not have the ability to disclose, and Zcash has partial ability. Regulatory friendliness, well, That kind of ties into the selective disclosure. Midnight has a high compliance capability. Monero is very low, being 100% private, and this is why it's often delisted from exchanges and things. And Zcash is somewhere in the middle there. TPS, Midnight inherits its TPS from the Cardano ecosystem. I'm not sure about the current TPS on Cardano, but there's 1,000 plus TPS planned. Hopefully Midnight will get that at some point. And Monero 4 to 30, Zcash 6 to 27, roughly the same, but not really great for large scale DeFi. And the market caps we already looked at. Midnight, roughly about a quarter of Monero, and Zcash's market cap at 1.74 billion. Monero first there, 8.6 billion, and Zcash 7.2 billion, slightly behind Monero. I don't want to repeat myself, so we'll just skip ahead a bit. Competitive advantages of Midnight. Programmable privacy. So we've already talked about private DeFi, which seems pretty cool. Compliance-ready architecture. So transactions can have regulatory compliance built into the transaction. So when it settles, regulators know that the transactions are legitimate. It inherits from the Cardano ecosystem, which we covered, and rapid growth trajectory. So impressive momentum, which we've seen since the launch. Also, which isn't on the slides, is the glacier drop mechanism, so that there's no large unlock happening at any point. It's a slow drip of tokens in the ecosystem. So I guess we're not going to experience a huge dump on the market because no one will really get all their tokens unlocked, or a large tokens unlocks won't happen at the same time. What's next for Midnight? So the Midnight launch is expected 2026. Then there's development tools, private DeFi, and enterprise applications then expected to follow. I'm sure there'll be a lot of announcements over the next year or so. So we'll try to keep our ear to the ground and bring them to you as they come. If you've liked the video, please click the like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and let me know your thoughts below on the Midnight token. Thanks for watching. Bye.